RPC parking lot cars from ArchVision takes the headache out of populating parking lots in your visualization projects. This sample scene had 500 empty parking spaces when we started. Now it has over 400 photorealistic cars. Would you believe it only took a few minutes to fill this parking lot? And in this demo, we're going to learn how simple it can be. The new version 3.4 RPC plugin for 3ds Max, Autodesk Viz, and Architectural Desktop 2004 users includes a host of new tools, such as RPC helpers and mass populate tools that make filling a parking lot in your scene only a few mouse clicks away. Let's take a closer look. Using the new RPC helpers, we'll place an RPC proxy in each potential parking spot in our scene. We can use standard tools like Array to distribute the RPC proxies around the scene. Now that we've identified the location of the parking spots with RPC proxies, we'll launch the new Mass Populate tool that will help us distribute our RPC content. The first step will be to select all of the RPC proxies we placed in the scene that mark the potential locations of our parking lot cars. Next, we need to identify the content we want to distribute among the proxies. In this example, we'll select all 16 of our RPC parking lot cars through the RPC content selection dialog. That's all there is to it. All we have to do now is click Populate, and within seconds, our parking lot is full of cars. The hardest part was marking the spaces with the RPC proxies. Managing the placement of over 400 cars in the scene was a matter of only a few mouse clicks. The Mass Populate tools give you an unprecedented amount of control over how your RPCs are distributed in the scene. For example, you can weight the distribution of individual pieces of content as well as assign the percentage of empty spaces for added realism. In this scene, we'll increase the percentage of empty parking spaces to 50%. Before we repopulate our scene, let's make a couple of other changes. In real life, most people park closest to the front door, leaving the empty spaces at the rear of the parking lot. To have the same effect in our digital world, we will use another RPC helper called an RPC attractor that will act as a magnet to draw RPC content closer to specified areas in the scene. Let's place the attractor close to the front door and see what happens. Now we'll reopen the Mass Populate dialog, enable the RPC attractor in this rule set, and hit Populate. As you can see, most of the cars are dispersed close to the front door, with the empty spaces toward the rear of the parking lot. You can take this one step further and use the transform tools to add extra control to content distribution in a scene. We all know that in the real world, not everyone parks perfectly. Some pull all the way in, some pull halfway in. In this example, we want the cars to look like they would in real life. So let's vary the position of the cars in each space by plus or minus a foot within each parking spot. We'll also add a Z-axis rotation transform to vary the rotation plus or minus 3 degrees for each car. Now we'll hit the Populate button again, and voila, imperfect car placement. The Mass Populate tool even lets you name and save your rule sets for use in future scenes. That's all there is to it. You can achieve incredible realism in minutes with RPC parking lot cars. The tools we've shown you are all part of the RPC plugin version 3.4 and can be used with all of the RPC content libraries, including RPC People, RPC Trees, RPC Objects, and RPC Automobiles. So what are you waiting for? Get real. Get RPC.